I was always very, very excited by the kind of sound it makes, which comes from a simple but brilliant mechanism called the snare, which runs across the bottom head of the instrument, and it's operated here by these levers. In this instance, on this drum, we have 3 different levers, and they all make a slightly different impression on the drum. So now you can hear it with the snares off, so this is no snares at all. And you can hear it has that ringy sound, it's that slightly more open sound. But now we're going to shut the snares on one by one. Here's the first one. Next one. Just tightening up that little more kind of ring to the tone. And now finally the third one. So the snare drum is now off the stand. And I just want to give you a little tour of it. So there you can see there's the playing side, there's the snare mechanism. This is called the shell, right here. This one's made of wood, although you can have ones made of all kinds of different metals as well. And then here, oh, you can hear it buzzing. Hello! This is the snare mechanism, and this is where the vibrations happen. You can hear it reacting to my voice that give the snare that buzzy sound. That's what happens underneath the more familiar playing side.
The most fundamental drum as part of our drum set is the snare drum. Has a very sharp, snappy sound because of the snare wires on the bottom.
This is a bass drum. Sometimes it can sound rather more mellow and quiet. We only ever play on one side of the bass drum. The other head is as a resonating device for this playing head. And sometimes to sustain the sound we need 2 mallets. And we can create some quite interesting crescendo effects with them. Occasionally composers ask for different kinds of mallets. Here's a hard mallet, for example. And because it's quite a resonant instrument, I sometimes need to damp the head with my hand.
The next most fundamental part of the drum set is the bass drum. We play that with the foot. That's the lowest member of the family in the drum set and has a nice punch, low thud to it.
So the timpani are a collection of drums. The biggest one is the lower range of the instrument, and then as you get smaller with the instruments, the pitch goes higher. You produce the sound by using a mallet and striking the instrument. It has a lot of ring, so sometimes we have to muffle the sound with our hands to stop the ring. The timpani are also a tuned drum. They have pitch. And how the pitch is changed is by these pedals down here. The pedals change the pitch by moving up and down. If you move up, the pitch goes higher, it tightens the head, raises the pitch. If you go down with the pedal, it lowers the tension of the head and lowers the pitch. I can demonstrate that for you by doing what we call a glissando, going from low to high with the pedal.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to give you an overview of the conga. The conga is a drum that actually comes from Cuba, but listen to this. It's really from the Congo, okay? These drums that you see in front of me are drums that first originated as molasses barrels. Can you believe that? Like, you know, molasses barrel, like how they put molasses in it. And the people in Cuba changed the molasses barrel to an instrument by putting a skin over it. And the first congas had, you know, these pins or nails to hold their heads together. And if you look here, you'll see these kind of hooks that help stretch this animal skin across the top of this chamber. The conga has two openings. It has one at the top that I was playing and also down here at the bottom, okay? I want to show you the sounds of the conga. They are bass, tone, and slap. First the bass, next the tone, and next the slap. If you have two drums, you have two basses, two tones, two slaps. You put all that together, you start making music. The music of the conga.
When we play the bongos, we're going to use three basic kinds of tones or strokes. One of the strokes uses our fingers, and it's similar to the open tone on a djembe or conga. We usually use that stroke on the large drum, or the embra, the large size drum. Now the other two tones are related. Those are edge tones, and so you're going to play near the edge with your fingertips. It's quite a high-pitched sound. Then you're going to do a muted edge tone, and that's produced by placing your other thumb near the center and then doing the edge tone in the normal fashion. So those are your three basic tones on the bongos. You have an edge sound, a muted edge sound, and the open tone.
The percussion section consists of the pit or front ensemble and the drum line, also known as the battery. The drum line consists of three sections: the snares, the tenors or quads, and then the bass line.
These are tenors, made up of 4 drums, they're usually called quads. 4 different drums, and then we have 2 of these effects up here called spocks or gocks. You get to play everything that the snares do, except you get to put it around and move around, and you'll notice like a lot of crossover and like visual stuff.
The role of the bass drum is to provide the impact of the core. The loudest noise you hear on the field is going to be the bass line.
We have 5 drums here, different pitch, so they can do different melodic things as well, up and down.
Each person is playing like a different part at a different point in time, so once we put all our parts together, it lines up as like one solid piece of music. It's like a puzzle piece.